You ready to get to Corey Feldman? Billy Corgan?
Hop along.
Should we hop along this train?
Oh, wow. I love
Yeah, go ahead.
that Corey Feldman is single-handedly keeping Swarovski crystals relevant. Rhinestones. I love it. You know what it is?
Late 90s?
It is, but it also feels like he just goes somewhere and like somebody's like, oh my God, Corey, you got to look at this hat. You'll love it. And he's like, I don't know, it's bright and sparkly and looks tacky and hideous. Okay.
He doesn't have good taste in, I don't want to say bad. I don't want to say hate. He doesn't have refined taste.
He's chuggy taste.
Very chuggy.
And not in an ironic way.
Well, that's kind of the multi-layers of Corey Feldman.
He's the Tommy Wiseau of music.
Right, because he doesn't want to be in on, he's refusing that the joke is on him for not being good at music. The problem here is that he thinks he's good at music. He writes good songs. He plays instruments well. He produces good music. The records sound good. That's not the case. So there's a delusion there. Billy Corgan here is here to...
is he breaking this down?
He's here to launder the idea that Corey Feldman is a talented musical artist.
What?
Yeah, because part of it, he's trying to say he's just a brilliant artist, including his acting career, including his musicianship. And Billy Corgan is trying to goad him also into saying like it's an act or it's not an act, while pretending like he's not doing that. And he's also pretending
he's baiting him. He's trying to lull Corey into a false sense of friendship, safety.
I think so.
So he could just out himself and be an idiot.
He just wants clicks, and he's pretending like, oh, I know everyone else sees you this way and judges you this way, but you're safe with me. You know, I don't want to be pedantic, but like this is for real, right? Like you're for real. This is your art, right? It's not a joke, right? It's not irony. It's for real, right, bro?
What does he say?
He gets defensive. He's like, yeah, of course it's me. Of course it's my art. That's what makes him Tommy Wiseau. Well, I'll give Tommy Wiseau credit. At least Tommy Wiseau knows his value as Tommy Wiseau. He understands the meta concept of Tommy Wiseau. Corey Feldman doesn't.
Yeah.
That actually is the difference between the two of them. But I digress. I gave you a little setup.
Yeah, I need to see what's happening.
I wrote down some time codes that I want to dig deeper into.
Feeling deeply disturbed by this content.
Here's the thing, right? It's really obvious. This is another case of like a personality disorder unchecked. Corey Feldman.
Histrionic?
Corey Feldman has a messiah complex. So does Billy Corgan, though. I don't think Billy Corgan's nuts, but he's very delusional.
It's evident through his music that came out recently.
Exactly. And like Billy admits in this episode, he's been clean and sober for 20 years. And I'm like, that's kind of a problem, bro. You should do some mushrooms and, I don't know, get in touch with
No, not
with
everybody
stuff.
should.
No, okay.
I honestly am a big proponent of white men stopping doing drugs to get in touch.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
I don't think it's for everybody. I think that once again, that's like skipping ahead too many steps. Look what happens with Elon Musk. I'm just saying. Yeah. You haven't mastered basic empathy, and like you do the drugs and it only connects you to the like time travel-y DMT weird space aliens life's video game aspect without actually tapping into the like emotional shadow work part that like maybe ketamine would. Right. It's a different thing. I don't think that he should take some psychedelics. Like it might just give him wackier ideas. It doesn't necessarily kill the ego.
Okay. So here's the first thing I want to touch upon.
So now it's like, you know what? Fine. How about this? If you want to see it as a joke, you go right ahead and you keep propagating that while I'll keep making my songs and we'll keep getting more and more followers and audience members.
What's the
bigger
goal?
Venues and spreading the love.
So
that's the goal.
What's the dream goal?
It's spreading the love. That's it. You know, I want to write positive music that means something. Mm-hmm. I want people to be inspired by the words and the feelings that they get in the music.
What are some of the lyrics and some of the feelings in a Corey Feldman song?
I mean, Corey Feldman is not a gifted songwriter, straight up. That's just what it is. That is the cold, hard truth when the rubber hits the pavement.
I think if he was, we would like his music. If Corey Feldman was a great songwriter, once again, the proof's just in the pudding, right? Like
he's a talented actor. It's like when an amazing golfer is like, I can be amazing at basketball or like baseball, basketball, any of it, right?
Yeah.
Which is not to say that there isn't going to be an athlete who can be pro at 2 or 3 sports. It's possible. Just fucking, you require different muscle development and different ways of thinking.
Yeah.
Based on what sport you're like. In other words, to stay that good at that craft in that field, you got to stay in that zone. And Corey Feldman delusionally thinks that because he's talented at acting, because he's able to get in the zone. I mean, and I'm being generous. I don't think Corey Feldman's been in too many good movies ever.
I'm like Lost Boys.
Right. So
Stand By Me.
I'm just trying to be generous to the guy by saying like he knows how to act. I would assume,
Sure.
right?
Talk about peaking not even in your high school years. Corey Feldman peaked before he like hit puberty for reals, you know?
That's not entirely his fault, but
No, not his fault at all.
he thinks that like he has a bit of a messiah complex. That's what I'm.
Here's the thing, like there's other child stars that I think are far more talented. The Culkins are a great example of that.
I agree.
They have like a depth to them. They're gritty. I think that they can play multiple roles. It's just, you know, who chooses to be a part of the industry because they've had a really like traumatic. I'm not saying that Corey Feldman also didn't experience trauma by being in the industry, right?
He very much did.
But I think that he was like a teen himbo, and I think that he didn't really like be beyond that, like really develop these others.
I mean, he dances like Michael Jackson. Well, may I add.
Well.
But he doesn't understand that the combination of dancing like Michael Jackson, wearing the outfits he's wearing, and the way he's combining rock and metal and rap, he doesn't understand that he doesn't have the ability to do it in a way that's nothing other than ironic. You see what I'm saying?
Well, because he's not giving anything, he's not creating anything new. It's like a TV dinner Las Vegas rendition of these things.
Exactly, but he thinks it's
high art.
Thinks it's Florence, Italy, and it's not. It's low art.
He's at Olive Garden and he thinks that it's just as good as Italy. Might as well be in Naples right now.
Musicality. I mean, that's what matters to me. I want people to, first of all, come to the show and have a great time, no matter what you're getting out of it.
Okay.
If you don't go to a Corey Feldman show and have a good time, there's something wrong. Of course. That's the whole point. Of course, it's fun. It's fun. Corey Feldman is wacko.
See, I wouldn't go to a Corey Feldman show.
Like, I'm not gonna leave pissed off because I'm like, man, they weren't tight. They
let me down.
No, that's not the point. Like,
it's not the point. But I wouldn't go because you are going to laugh at like a circus act. I'm not like it. To me, I think Corey Feldman as a musician, we're not there to laugh with you. We're there to laugh at.
That's what he's having a cognitive dissonance moment that stretches over time into more than a moment.
Oh yeah.
It's his life.
He's like, no, everybody's laughing with me. And I was like, that's what your mother told you. That's not accurate. The world is laughing.
He's also there's tons of evidence that support that he's extremely abusive to his angels, his female background singers or keyboard player, DJ, whatever. There's lots. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole right now, but there's lots out there on the internet about it.
At least, whether you want to laugh at me, whether you want to scream and cry and say it's the most exciting thing you've ever seen, or whether you just want to stand there like in awe, I don't care.
But walk me through this, okay?
But enjoy this.
You do care.
You do care.
You care more than anything. That's a total deflection.
The show.
Understood. Walk me through this. You're on stage, and, we all see who's in the crowd, right? And I definitely can tell when people are there, not because they're in love with my band. Arms crossed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hipster beard.
Yep.
Hipster beard.
What's your inner psychology at that moment when you're dealing with, let's call it an overt negative and an overt positive? Like, how do you balance that in your mind?
Watch what happens in the end.
Which is?
They always walk out with a smile.
Yep. He's right about that.
Either they walk.
That's the first time in all of what he said where I'm like, you're right. Everyone leaves with a smile. Fair enough.
I'm like, but at what cost?
What kind of smile is it? Is it a Schadenfreude smile? Is it a snarky like, what an idiot.
Yeah.
What a plebe.
And he's like, it doesn't matter. Corey Feldman's giving...
What a Philistine. He thinks he's so sophisticated. He isn't. He isn't.
It's giving... and him willing to deliver that, regardless of what it is very like Liza Minnelli, like, I'm going to be a star. Like, I'm going to give it to you no matter what, Yeah. No matter at what cost, even if it's he's like the jester, where he's just like, oh, you like a pie in the face? I guess I'll put a pie in my face and another pie in my face. And it's bizarre.
Oh, I skipped a time code. 14 minutes in, they discuss Fred Durst. There's so much interesting about this.
Milk it all anymore, so I cut out all the
Whoa.
Cut out the dairy.
Easy with that mic stand.
Dairy mostly, but I do cheese and butter. Those are my two cheats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm vegan. I can't be thin to save my life.
Well, do you drink? Do you drink alcohol?
I do not.
Wow.
Stone cold sober pretty much for about 20 years.
You are an
Let me address that. He's been stone cold sober for 20 years.
anomaly. Literally.
Vampires, the word.
I think we got to break up his patterning. Shake it up. Get the creative juices going again for old William.
I
William
didn't.
Coe.
Okay.
touring with Limp Bizkit.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Yes. Should be fun.
I saw Bizkit when they kind of had their comeback show recently, a couple years ago with
Okay, can we pause it
Troubadour.
I actually remember that Billy Corgan did go to that Troubadour show and Marilyn Manson showed up. I just have that memory since moving to LA. I remember when it happened. You go ahead.
Are we just referring to Limp Bizkit now as Bizkit?
Yeah, it's okay. I have no issue. You got an issue with Bizkit?
Yeah, I don't know why.
What's your tissue, man?
It's formal. You say the whole thing. Limp. All right. You're not on a first name basis with the Biz. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Limp Bizkit.
Okay.
It's an integral part of the name.
It's
not like the Smiths, right? Limp Bizkit. Limp is a very much so as important
no, you could
as
say
Bizkit.
I've heard Bizkit as a shorthand. You fuck with Bizkit, bro. Fuck with the Biz, my man.
I think it was when they kind of had the original lineup back together.
Yeah.
And I talked to Fred for a while, even talked about maybe even producing some stuff for them. It didn't work out. Love the band, love Fred.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So-
He's amazing. Well, he just directed my new video.
Love the band. Love
So-
Fred.
I haven't seen the
Can we
video yet. I
pause?
heard the song.
Is this not the most awkward fake converse? Like, I just feel like everything about this,
That's what I'm saying.
everything
it's
about
phony.
the conversation is fake.
They're pantomiming being deep. They're right?
Yeah, it's like everything is. It's like a fake set within a fake thing, and then like, it's like a Russian doll fake effect.
I'm here on your team. I'm here to show people the real you, Corey. Trust me. I'll give Billy this. Okay, he is a good communicator. He knows how to put words together into cogent sentences. Feel good on the ear, right? Like he's a talented lyricist. I'll give him that. But the meta conversation makes me very uncomfortable.
What he's doing is so weird and fake. I love Fred and Bizkit.
I
They're
love
great.
what you do.
I love what you do.
don't think you're a joke. No,
I think what you got going on is really great. It's giving like
see you for the real you.
It's giving housing association. It's giving like neighbors that get together and they're like, no, I love Jim and Carol. Jim and Carol are great. And I'm like, you don't know Jim and Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're all in the music
talk about the
industry,
song?
so we're
We
all
can
friends.
if you want to.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
he directed
you're
the
not
video.
friends. You're not friends.
It's a lot of fun. It's a goof. I mean, obviously,
I love
the song's
that
called
you're-
The Joke, so it's
Yeah, I want to talk about the lyrics on the song for a second, but I love that you're in Fred's world, if that makes any sense, because I know you'll be well taken care of. Does that make
I
sense?
appreciate you saying that. Listen, he's
got a point
a
there.
wild guy.
He's got a point there.
But he's all
He's
heart.
got a point in
Yes.
the sense that like Corey Feldman didn't have anything going for him musically until Fred added him to the Loserville tour. That's a fact. No
Yeah,
one's
and
listening to Corey Feldman. No one's going out of their way for Corey Feldman music
but-
in the music industry.
But they'll go, and I think it was smart on Fred's part because he's like, I know that I'm looked at as a joke, right?
well, he's leaning into it. See, that's
he's leaning into it.
That's why we have respect for modern day Fred. And
That's why I have love for him. Yeah,
Right,
He feels real.
It feels real because he knows he's like, okay.
He's
I'm
leaning
a
into the
goof.
cringe.
I'm a goofball. I get it. He has that self-awareness, and that's why he's more of an integrated, as Billy puts it, beautiful guy, right? He is probably, I will give him that. He's probably a beautiful guy now. He wasn't then, right? He was a misogynistic douchebag. But now that he's sort
better.
of in on it, it makes it more meta and fun.
I think that's the only way that you get to release yourself from the embarrassment and the cringe, right? Is embarrassing and being like, yeah, this is the thing that I like. This is what I'm about. This is who I am.
I didn't know this until this interview, so I'll also give credit to Billy for pointing this out, or one of the two of them. Limp Bizkit was a joke band. Actually, I think Corey Feldman's the one that points this out. It didn't start it. Weren't trying to start a real band. Fred Durst was a music video director and a illustrator and like a personality,
Right.
kind of like you like, and I don't mean this in a pejorative or bad way, but like you remind me, like you have that kind of energy where like you're a performer, not necessarily like a quote unquote musician, but you're an artist, and that's what Fred is. Fred has a visual. Like you, I think that's maybe why you relate to him a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, I relate to him in the sense of like watching him trying to make that album without Wes.
Oh, that was.
And he's like,
he's like
in his head, he's like, the guitar part I hear in my head is so sick, but what I am able to produce sucks.
Is below what is
below.
he can't play.
He can't play guitar.
Yeah.
So I highly identify with that concept of like when you have good taste.
You identify with his struggle, like. Yeah, I think there's a lot of.
You can have
parallel.
good taste, but you don't necessarily have the chops or the technical prowess. It can be very disheartening and very like hard because you can tell what you're doing isn't good.
Yeah.
because it's not up to your par.
And he knew, well, eventually he realized he needs Wes, because
Yeah.
Wes has such a unique guitar playing style, right?
Wes kind of set it up for him and made it easy for him to knock him down. And he just wasn't aware of how much heavy lifting Wes was doing.
Never mind.
He was a big vision guy.
Big vision guy, well, musically. Wes is a big vision guy, but Fred has always been the vision guy in terms of how things look.
That's why I'm saying
right.
Fred didn't understand
They're
how
a
important
team.
Wes was because of Fred's being a big vision guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't realizing because he felt like he was the one
He could do it all.
things.
Yeah.
He felt like he was really orchestrating everything, but he wasn't aware of how much labor and creativity actually went into what Wes was doing.
He was way too egotistic. He was having an ego.
Yeah.
That results may vary. VH1 documentary we watched about Limp Bizkit is us witnessing his, not ego death, but something to that effect.
Yeah.
He's dating Britney Spears.
We're watching it crumble.
We're watching it crumble. She doesn't even want to admit to the press that she's like, she hooked up with him once or twice. He's so cringe that he thinks they're dating, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I digress.
So
And if
we've
he
been
wants
friends
you
for
there,
a long time.
That's what I'm saying. You know that, so I'm not telling you anything you know, but I'm saying it maybe for the benefit of anybody watching. Because I know Fred. If Fred wants you there, it's because he wants you there.
Yeah. No,
See what I'm
Yeah, he doesn't want to use you because you're a fucking clown. Come on, like that's the problem with this conversation. That,
Fred wants you there because he wants you there. Because Fred, are you trying to tell me that Fred Durst loves Corey Feldman's music and that's why he added him to the Loserville Tour? Shut the fuck
up, bro.
That is ridiculous. No, he's leaning into his own cringe, and he goes, "Isn't it funny if I brought this other guy?"
It was a fucking loser. That's Loserville.
It's a Loserville tour, and then
he's
it's
the
like,
opening act. He's the 4 p.m. slot. He's not even a headliner.
and it's literally. Here's the thing, which I think is very funny about it. Billy Corgan knows that Corey Feldman's being cucked by Fred, kind of
obviously,
but he has no idea that he's being cucked.
Billy Corgan isn't aware that he's being cucked by Fred.
No.
Corey Feldman's not aware that he's being cucked by Fred.
He's not aware
Not
that
aware.
he's being cucked by Fred.
Not aware.
But Fred is smart because he's leaning into it and also cucking himself in the process, right? But if there's a totem pole, Corey Feldman's the ultimate cuck.
Unfortunately
Yeah.
for him.
to make fun of myself. Huge money offers to patronize myself, to mock myself.
He's talking about the surreal life and all the reality TV because he was offered like a lot of money. He was offered 6 figures to be on a show such as the surreal life and all the other reality TV
And
stuff.
then he's making fun of him
Yeah, and to be fair to him, he's right about the fact that they would edit it
to make him look even dumber and
way
weirder.
dumber. Or like, can you say this? But like, it's not coming from him. He's saying the thing because the producer is telling him to say it, and then they edit it sound even worse. Like he's really fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And that's totally unfair. But and also to be fair to Corey Feldman, he entered reality TV when the Surreal Life was the first time they threw like washed out B-star fucking former celebs into a house, and you sort of like schadenfreude and watch them struggle with each other.
Yeah.
It was kind of a new concept in 2001 whenever it came out.
Yeah, and you realize that you're like, oh, I'm the lol cow.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I thought they it's like it's weird Carrie vibes where it's like, oh, the hot guy asked you to prom and you get to prom, then it's actually you're gonna pour blood all over you. You're gonna get pig's blood all. It's like a prank. It's a prank, right? Where it's like, oh my God, come hang out with us, come sit with us.
He's essentially saying, I got tired of taking those checks. But what he doesn't understand is he's still taking those checks from Fred Durst.
But because
he doesn't think he's a clown.
It's because it's a generational thing too. Because Fred Durst is a big name. He's still doing. It's a big name tour.
May I have a joint whenever you're free?
There's the A joint.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever's easy. You want to just
this singular joint? Yeah.
If I want to do something that's going to excel my career because it's art, because I believe in it, because it's passionate to me, that'll have to pay a price for it.
I think it's a generational thing. He doesn't realize he's being cucked and that he's still taking those checks because it's like it's a different medium. It's a different, not different actual media, but it's like a different medium. It's like a different form of being cucked. He doesn't understand the lingo, right? The old school,
language,
the
data,
the surreal life. He's like, oh, I could obviously see that this is them making fun of me, and it's Schadenfreude. But he doesn't realize that this new form is just Schadenfreude.
Yeah, he doesn't understand the new art form that's happening, and then the art form happens. Then he's like, oh shit, I was the clown all along. Now I'm gonna try to find myself in this new art form that's not gonna treat me like a clown. Of course, he ends up being the clown again. and always has been. It's very sad. I actually empathize with it because he thinks he's being deep here, right? Like,
ones where it's like, I'm sorry, all we can pay is scale. I mean, if you're
So that
willing
starts
to do
at
it,
how old are you when that thought hits you? Like
22, 23.
like, I'm only
Okay.
going to take good movies.
So at
now.
that point, I start to realize this is a no-win situation. They may never let me back into the big league. This may be, I'm an independent art guy for the rest of my life. And
that's one way of putting it. Let's look at his IMDb, independent art guy. That's one fucking way of putting it.
I think that just means it's his way of saying not
it's a
blockbusters.
It's a shittily produced, low budget film. That's what it's.
Yeah.
I feel bad shitting on the guy, but I mean, what's he known for? Lost Boys, Stand By Me,
and
Goonies.
That's why I said that he peaked when he was like 15.
No, I know.
16, you know?
We all know.
Sad.
Let's see. Body High. He's an apparition. 2015. The M Word. Benny Becker. Zombex with 2.2 stars as Dr. Jameson. The Zombie King. Exposure as Seth. Like this is not art film. Look at the cover of this. That's not. I'm sorry. That's not art film. That's called a B movie. Good sir. Good sir. Good sir. You are selling me a load of crapolo.
Once again, it's a taste thing.
There you go.
Because it's like a very binary thinking for Corey Feldman, right? If it's not a blockbuster, it must be an artsy film. The concept of it being there's like a spectrum and a scale.
It's what we're just talking about. It's another example of he in his. I'm assuming back then he assumes, oh, is this art film? And it's like, no, bro, this is a movie.
It just doesn't have it because he's associating art or an indie film with being like cheap and
There's
not having
enough
a budget.
money. Yeah, exactly.
And so he's like, if not enough money equals real gritty art film.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Because as long as it's art, I'll be okay with it.
Right.
No more with the B movies.
He seems
no
like the
more
type
with
of guy that walks into
no more with the beam. Do you see the denial button? It seems like the type of guy who walks in.
walks into like IKEA and is like, "Ooh, I like that paint. I'd get that painting on my wall." And it's just like the 40 different like paintings of the same bird. And he's like, "Yeah, it's art. That's art." And technically it is art. Technically somebody originally created that. Technically, it's going on your wall.
The irony of this whole interview is that Billy dresses like a vampire. He makes his set look like a vampire's lair. And what he's doing spiritually is vampiric.
Oh yeah, it's very.
He's feeding on Corey Feldman's weakness. And the weakness is that he doesn't realize that we are here to call spades and what is it? What is it? Spades and what? Kings and spades? What's the expression?
Diamonds.
No.
Call a spade a spade.
Call a spade a spade, but I thought there was another expression in there. But anyway,
I don't know cards.
We're calling spades spade a spade.
You gotta know when to hold them.
We're calling David Spade
know
David
when
Spade.
to fold them. Know when to walk away.
I don't play a character.
Know when
The love that you see in my heart is pure. The anger that you feel is justified.
Is he wearing a mud
And
flap
the
on his
pain
necklace?
is
Or is that am I just hallucinating? I can't
have no
see what's
idea.
happening.
I don't know, brother.
I wish
laws.
it was
We
a
can't
mud
change
flap
the way
girl.
things go down. We're still all subject to the fact that our democracy is at stake. All of these things
All right.
are real.
Preach.
Mhm.
Preach.
But what we can give is the gift of enlightenment and entertainment to help soothe the rough days.
Yeah, he's right about that, but he doesn't see that what he's doing is he thinks it's enlightened. How about this? We are not experiencing it in an enlightened way. We are experiencing it as the lowest art form.
Maybe it's doing something. It's like pissing on your feet when you have athlete's feet.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't want to say it's the lowest art.
It's like pissing on your feet when you have athlete's foot.
It's comedy. I actually really like Corey Feldman's content. I just wish he would just own that he's a goofball.
See, and here's my thing. Why
He's denying he's a fucking goofball.
I wouldn't want to go to a Corey Feldman show because I don't want to go and laugh at him, and I don't think I would enjoy it. I would be like, it would be uncomfortable.
You'd feel like a piece of shit.
You'd
right?
feel like a piece of shit.
You're like, Jesus, this is weird.
I'd be like, your band, this sucks. The music is ass, and I don't. Okay, I'm not okay. Wait, I take that back. Because when he does the Lost Boys cover, and he has the singers, we saw him play that live.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I guess it was pretty sick to hear the Lost Boys song live, and it sounded good the way he did it. He made it sound punk.
I would enjoy a Corey Feldman.
I only want to hear the Lost Boys songs, and that's about it.
Here's the thing, right? If I went to a Loserville show, more so to see Limp Bizkit or something, and Corey Feldman was on the band before, or even two bands before, of course I'm going to go early. And I will be a piece of shit. And I will, But he's still. Here's where we can all agree. I will leave with a smile on.
Oh yeah. Let's be honest. If I met
But he does care what kind of smile. He's pretending he doesn't care what kind of smile we have when we leave. He does care.
Okay, and here's the thing. If I got to meet Corey Feldman, I would shake my ass all over that man. I would take pictures with Corey Feldman. I'd be excited to meet. I would be stoked to meet Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
I would be like, this is so sick.
Yeah.
Would you?
It's sick. It's pretty sick.
What if I started dating Corey Feldman? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, but let's like walk through this, right?
And that's what I'm asking.
You know, you would have to be honest with him, and you would have to. What I really enjoy about collaborating with you in any art form is, in a very macro sense, you're usually right about instinct. Like, no, this is not a Gumdrop song, or okay, even if you're like, I don't know, but you're open-minded still, and it ends up being a really good Gumdrop song.
Yeah.
But the ones where you're like, I'm sorry, I tried. It's not working. You're right.
I think I would make Corey Feldman really cool if I dated him.
My point is you would have to use, like, because I'm the kind of person, I'm open enough to hear your criticism. And I've been this way since the beginning of us knowing each other, where I'm like, damn, you're right. My music is too fast.
Yeah, but
like,
it's really hard to. I feel like it's a hard. Well, I'm not very like nice. I'm a wrecking ball.
Oh, you are a wreck, but I can take your wrecking.
Yeah.
And can I not?
Yeah.
I'm really good at it. Even when I thought the album was finished, you were like, nah, here's like 8 notes. And I was like, cool, you're probably right. See, that's why I'm not defensive, because I know I've been through this enough that I'm like, yeah, she's probably fucking right. And that's the thing I see him struggling with.
Yeah, he doesn't need ketamine therapy. He needs button.
He's a button?
He needs the real ego death,
which is buttons.
This is a date with buttons. the ultimate ego death. But the thing is, I think I could kill his ego with love, and I'd be like, you know what I would say? I'd be like, you know what's really fucking cool is when you lean into the Lost Boys thing. Why don't you make like a fucking post-punk
theme album about it?
Like make a post-punk like
concept fuckaroo
goth album.
Yeah.
You know? Like do like a new wavy thing and lean into being like, you're old, right? Lean into being old. Yeah. I am old and I was fucking cool and I was a cool nerd.
Yeah.
And I was in the Lost Boys, and go super vampire-y with it. Go vampire-y with it.
Yeah.
Wear like fucking
very LA.
Like a mesh. Dress like you're fucking from Boy Harsher. Get a fucking little mesh disco gothy thing.
Boy Harsher's from LA. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wear chains, right? Get a dangly fucking earring.
Yeah.
And then like do a concert in a fucking giant cathedral with a bunch of candles and have everybody do the da 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 and do the Lost Boys cover. That shit would slap. You would get people in the nostalgia. You'd get people with the aesthetics. You'd get people with the fact that you're Corey fucking Feldman.
He doesn't want to listen. He's surrounded by yes people is the issue here.
He's true.
And Billy is feeding into that ego narrative, and sickly.
I'm just saying, if Corey if Corey dated me, he would have the rebrand that we all desperately needed.
Yeah.
And I think that, it would be a lot cooler. He wouldn't be on a Loserville tour.
Billy Corgan is in his Wario. He's no longer Mario. He's Wario.
He is vampiric for sure.
He is on the dark side.
He's on the dark side. But he's doing it with a smile.
He's the thing about Billy Corgan is he's very intelligent, like high IQ intelligent, right? Like he speaks well. He has intelligent thoughts. He's just lost the
his emotional part is completely unplugged.
Correct. It's so weird.
Because he's just full of shit. Yeah. He's full of shit.
Full of shit.
He's bloated of shit.
He bought into the Hollywood like bullshit thing.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a rock star, I have money, I have clout, I have fame.
He just bought into it.
And in his mind, he's like, yeah, me and Fred Durst and Corey Feldman
and Chad Kroger,
Tom Morello.
He says twice on 2 different Joe Rogan experiences, Chad Kroger is a wonderful songwriter. You can make the argument that Chad Kroger knows how to write a good song in like a corporate,
or you could say he's a cool guy and he's my buddy and I like having a fucking like getting dinner with him.
I'm not even sure they're buddies. I think he's trying to make like this what do you call it, contrarian point that actually you don't get it, bro. Chad Kroger's like a really brilliant songwriter, and it's like, oh, you've lost touch, you've lost your you got Hollywooded up, you hung out with Courtney Love for too long, you got all weird, all fucking fucked up.
You got weird, and now it's about who could be the most profitable, the most successful, and success equals it must be the highest form of art. You lost your taste.
The taste is gone, man.
Taste is gone.
He has no taste.
It's bloated.
And his albums are hideous. They're
terrible.
ugly sounding.
All of the choices are the wrong choice.
The wrong choices. And
It's gaudy. It looks terrible.
just like this freaking intro. Let me just remind you of what his intro music is. So it's very alt.
I'll tell you what it's about. I mean, if we want to get deep,
Let's
if we
get
want to
deep.
get
That's
real,
why we're here.
This is the first time I'm ever telling this story, so I'm sure I'm going to get hung.
Did they push you out,
Why
or
do I listen
Yeah,
to the
he said I was a
fit?
junkie and that he didn't work with junkies.
Again, he's
It's weird millennial clappy like dentist music.
Billy Corgan had his finger to the pulse from, let's say, 1988 to he started losing it at around 98-ish. No. Sorry. No, I take it back. It started to leave at around 98-ish, and then it was gone by 2008, 2010. And then since then, the last 15 years have been misery.
It's like he went from wearing cool pointy toe boots to New Balances, but he doesn't realize that the New Balances don't look like he
Aren't
thinks.
I? Am I wearing I'm wearing New Balances, but I wear dad. I know I'm wearing dad
But
shoes.
you're
There's no-
also you weren't in a very specific aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
You've never been the like that's never been your focus.
It's never been my focus.
Your focus is the music, the substance.
I'm
of
not.
music.
I'm a musician.
Yeah, you're not trying to wear the fucking fringe and the
No.
turquoise jewelry to fit
No.
in with the type of band you're playing. But I find it very hard to be Billy Corgan and be in this very like anthemic band that had a very big flavor and vibe to then all of a
right,
sudden
yeah.
not knowing.
He lost the finger
Yeah, it's
and
gone.
the pulse. They separated, and now they're so far apart.
That he thinks that intro music is acceptable.
which it obviously isn't.
It's not.
It's really dark. It makes me sad, to be honest with you.
I find it very worrisome.
It's worrisome.
Do you know why I find
It's
it
troubling.
worrisome?
Yeah.
We mentioned this earlier. It is so important. It's like as you age, like holding on to your cool is harder and harder. And I notice that a lot of people, as they age, part of aging is that you just don't give a fuck about being cool, which is fine. I'm not saying to be
If
a
you're-
tryhard.
If you're not a musical, the problem is that he's a voice in the zeitgeist, if you will. That's one of
Yeah.
their albums. But if you're going to continue releasing albums under the Smashing Pumpkins name, we expect a certain level of depth.
And taste.
And now the music is flat and two-dimensional, and that tells me that he needs to do some ayahuasca or something to that effect.